Hello, everyone. It is May 16th today, which means yesterday on the 15th, I was 4 months post-op, phalloplasty, stage 1. So, some things have changed in the last month. Um, I I feel physically better. My arm, especially my wrist, like I'm feeling less pain in terms of like if I do things and just more mobility, still very tight around the wrist and everything. Like it's very restricted um, in terms of like I am always aware of the tightness. It's not gone away. It hasn't changed. It's always there. And my mobility is obviously you can see like this wrist can go like this one cannot. This one can go like this one is as far as that's going to go in that, position. Side to side, same thing. Like I can do a lot of things. This is like, that's the extent of it. It's starting to get like, I've been having some days of feeling not great in terms of my arm. And it's nothing to do with the way it looks, which again, I have the sleeve on and I'm sorry. I really need to make a video where I don't have the sleeve on, but I'm not taking it off and putting it back on and stretching it out more than it needs to just for the video. So if I can film when there's a time that I don't have the sleeve on, then I'll do that. But it just, I'm starting to feel like suffocated, if that makes sense. Sometimes when I notice like if I really focus on the tightness, I start to feel really suffocated. And it's hard because I've been trying to like simulate that tightness on this arm in various different ways just to like see how I could explain it to somebody, but I can't. There's nothing that I can think of to explain what this feels like. And it just is kind of stressful because I I know that there are other people who have gone through this, but I haven't met anybody in person. And so I don't have somebody to talk to about it in person and be like, you know what this is like, right? And none of my friends or family are going to know what this is like. And so it just feels kind of alienating, and it's hard to deal with that because I'm, people are asking constantly about it because they're concerned and they want to know and they're curious and whatever, and that's fine. But I can't explain it because I can't figure out a way to describe what this feels like and the tightness and what it actually, my experience with it is, and it's frustrating. Also, my leg, I'm wearing pants right now, so I won't be able to show you, but my leg looks really good. Still red, but as I showed you last month, like you could see where the scar was like receding, and normal looking skin was kind of coming through. That's continuing. The scar itself is itchy all the time. I scratch it all the time. I don't recommend doing that. You're not supposed to do that, but literally from the beginning, I've been scratching it furiously for months now, and it isn't, as far as I can tell, not impeding the healing at all. It's itchy. It's to the point where I cannot focus because it's so itchy, and even when I put the vitamin E cream on it, still itchy. So, I just scratch it, and if I make it worse somehow, then that's my own fault. But so far for me, not making a difference as far as I can tell. So the leg's healing fine. I noticed about 4 days ago, I was, what was I doing? I just noticed like in my pubic hair that there was something weird there. And so I looked and it was like kind of like a like gooey substance, and I'm like, what the friggin' hell is that from? Um, and so along the base of the phallus, whereas obviously it's connected to my body, there were stitches and incisions there, obviously. On one of the sides, a hole opened up, It's really small, but it's oozing things, which probably means it's infected. The reason I guess I didn't notice is because I can't feel anything. That side is still numb because that's where the nerve was connected. So that side's numb, can't feel anything. And because of the way my pubic hair is all grown in now, it's been months, it's covering all the incisions. So I didn't notice. And I've been cleaning it a lot with saline and then just in the shower still. And it's not that I wasn't cleaning it before. I had stopped using the saline because I thought that all the wounds were closed. But I've started using the saline on that part again to clean it out. I still have some gauze left over, so I've been using that to help clean it. And it was bleeding a little bit, and it's oozing stuff, and it's gross. I cut back the hair so I could see it better. And there is a bit of pain now. So when I'm actually pressing on it to like clean it, there is a bit of pain, which means that there's some feeling coming back. But I'm sure that if it was on the other side, which is not as numb, I'm sure this would be a hell of a lot more painful than it is. But it's concerning, and it really sucks because you think you're out of the water 4 months later, but a hole has opened up and now I got to deal with it. In terms of peeing, I honestly have just given up hope that this is going to work. And I'm feeling like in stage 2, they're going to have to go in and fix something because, as I've mentioned previously, I'm peeing out of the old hole that is supposed to be closed. They made a new urethra through my scrotum area, so I have pee coming out of there. That one's not closing as far as I can tell. Pee is coming out of there, but when I pee a lot, it's coming out of there, and then it's also spraying out the back end at the same time. And so the hole isn't closed. It was supposed to close on its own. They did whatever they're supposed to do down there that makes it close on its own. It hasn't. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. I hope it doesn't mean an extra surgery. I hope that it's something that can be fixed during stage 2. But I've kind of lost hope. I'm supposed to be plugging it so that the pee is all coming out the right way. I had stopped plugging it for a little bit, and then it started coming out the wrong way again. And so I'm now plugging it again. However, I don't plug it every time because it makes a mess. And when I'm at work, I don't need to be peeing on my hand. And also when you're going to take a shit, I'm not putting my hand back there. So I can't cover it every time. I can't plug that hole every single time. And I think it's just not allowing it to close because every time that I'm not able to plug it, it's making it worse, I think. The other thing is this is going to be a lot of information. If you don't want to hear too much information, I suggest just leaving now, but I think this is important. I had mentioned last month about orgasming and how I was getting really frustrated because there's no feeling and nothing's happening. Woohoo, I can orgasm now. Not in a way that seems like it should happen. I don't understand how I'm making it happen. But I've made it happen, and that's fine. But it's not in a way that like is preferable, but it's happening. There's also still no feeling in the phallus itself. That's still not happening. I did notice if I touch one of the sides of the phallus that I'm feeling something, but it's only when the phallus is in very specific positions, which is bizarre to me. So I don't know if I'm making that up or if it's a legitimate thing. I don't know, but there may be some little pings of feeling happening that are only in very, very particular situations. I have no idea. They're not erotic or anything. They're just weird tactile like zings. If I touch very particular spots at a very particular angle. So I don't know what that's about, but I'm hoping that means that some feeling's coming back. In terms of appearance, Obviously, scars are getting a bit lighter because it's been a bit more time. The phallus itself, due to gravity, I guess, grew about half an inch, which is fine because I knew that was going to happen. After surgery, usually it kind of retracts a little bit as the skin is healing, but then gravity takes over, and eventually I've heard that it does get a bit longer again. So I was expecting that, grew about half an inch. Woohoo for me. That's fine. But yeah, I think that that's all. Oh, the other thing with the old hole not closing, um, the natural lubrication that happens when you're aroused is coming out of there still. The old hole that's supposed to be closed. At first, month and a half, 2 months ago, whatever, when I was getting aroused, the natural lubrication, which I assumed would never happen again, but I don't know anything clearly, was coming out of my new urethra, which I thought was bizarre, but sure. And then as the old hole, I guess, has opened more again, that is all coming out of that area when I'm aroused, which really sucks. It's not the end of the world, but it does just validate that the hole is not closed and is probably not going to close on its own at this point, because the lubrication that used to be coming out of the new urethra no longer comes out of there at all. It's only coming out the back end, which is unfortunate. So yeah, I don't know what that means for me. I don't know. Again, I'm hoping it doesn't mean an extra surgery. I'm hoping they can just tag it on to the next one. I haven't started hair removal yet on the scrotum area, which is what I'm supposed to have done to clear the urethra area. I haven't started that yet, and that's because I'm lazy and I don't want to do it, and I'm trying to motivate myself to do it, but it's hard to do that when I'm not in a place where I want surgery right now, because I'm still trying to deal with the last one. It's hard to motivate myself to work towards the next stage when I don't want to be in pain anymore, and I don't want to be paying for it, and I'm not in the mood, and I know that I'm going to regret waiting, but at the same time, also with this new little infection thing that's going on, I don't think that's a good idea to be having a laser hair removal device down there when there's stuff happening. So yeah, I gotta do it, and I know I said that last month, but I'm trying. I'm really trying to motivate myself. I didn't think I'd be this nervous about it, because I had gone in for hair removal so often for my arm, and the person I'm going to is the same person, presumably, that did my arm, as long as she still works there and is willing to take me. So she's expecting my call. She knows that this is coming, so I don't know why I'm so hesitant about it. I'm just not in the mood to deal with it. Somebody had asked me to show, like, in pants what the bulge looks like, which is fine. I don't care, so I will show you. Ugh, good God, I'm old. Okay. It does stick out. I am wearing the Seprotec underwear, so you can see there is a bulge. It is there. It's noticeable. And I am okay with that. I like that. That's fine. And I'm feeling good, like, it just feels right. Like, I'm enjoying what it looks like in pants. I'm enjoying what it looks like when I'm in underwear. I'm enjoying looking at myself naked and seeing it, and experiencing it, and that's fine. I don't really feel super dysphoric, even though I still have to sit to pee. It's annoying. It doesn't feel like dysphoria anymore. It feels like an annoyance. I really want to be able to stand to pee. I've always wanted that. I want that still. And I don't like, that's not part of not being able to motivate myself to do the hair removal in order to get ready for stage 2. It's just I don't want to be in pain anymore. I'm still in pain. My arm still hurts when I move it certain ways, or someone touches it by accident, or I hit it off something, which I do often because I'm clumsy. My genital area is in pain. I everything is sore, and I just, it's not like excruciating anymore, but it's still there, and it's something I notice often and all the time, and I'm not looking forward to adding more pain, and I don't know what to do about that, because there's no other option. The option is don't have any more stages of surgery or go through with the hair removal and have stage 2. Yeah, it's been tough. I've just been trying to work through that, and I also find like underwear is painful. Even the Sepratech, which is really helpful, I'm finding is like just having everything confined in any kind of way is not comfortable. And so I usually just sleep naked. It's when the way that I sleep is really like pretzeled, and with underwear on, it just moves everything around in weird ways. So I usually just sleep naked because it allows everything to breathe and nothing is confined and I don't have any pain. So that's interesting because I've never been the person to sleep naked. I always sleep shirtless, but I've never slept naked before, and I now pretty much do that almost every night because it's just more comfortable. But yeah, I feel like this month has been more kind of trying to get back to normal, but still feeling pain and discomfort in a lot of areas. Because I feel, besides this little potential infection, I feel like I'm out of the woods in terms of healing, but I'm still in pain. I'm still experiencing it 4 months later, and it's going to take time. I'm still waiting for feeling to come back. I'm still, just dealing with all this. So it is what it is, I guess. If you have any questions about my experience with stage 1, about my healing, about anything like that, please let me know. I'd love to make videos answering questions, or if you have a video topic, either phalloplasty or not related, in terms of like transition topics, let me know. I'd love to make videos and talk about different things. I'm just kind of lacking some creativity, I guess. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.